Hello everyone and welcome to the first ever SUP monologue competition. We had the results at the Big Night In last week, but tonight we're going to see all 21 entries from 15 people showing a fantastic range of talent across many different styles. We're going to start off with classical. Why? Well, why not? And hey, I get to choose. It's always a good idea to begin with one of our chairmen so they don't get upset. So first up, we have Mr. Stephen Fennerty giving us a little bit of the Scottish play.
Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day, to the last syllable of recorded time, and all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, brief candle, life is but a walking shadow, a poor player who struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing.
Non, rien de rien. Non, je ne regrette rien. Ni le bien qu'on m'a fait, ni le mal.
Thank you, Stephen. Understated as always. Second in the classical category, and the winner, according to the judges from last week, is Mr. Paul Cresser, who's going to give us a rather famous speech from Hamlet. Take it away, Paul.
To be or not to be? That is the question. Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing end them. To die, to sleep, no more. And by a sleep to say we end the heartache and thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die, to sleep, perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death what dreams may come, when we have shuffled off this mortal coil, must give us pause. There's a respect that makes calamity of so long life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of despised love, the law's delay, the insolence of office, and the spurns that patient merit of the unworthy takes, when he himself might his quietus make with a bare bodkin? Who would fardels bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life? But that the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveller returns, puzzles the will, and makes us rather bear those ills we have, than fly to others that we know not of. Thus conscience does make cowards of us all, and thus the native hue of resolution is sicklied o'er with the pale cast of thought, and enterprise of great pitch and moment with this regard their currents turn awry and lose the name of action.
Mr. Paul Cresser there, in a tragic and yet somehow smouldering sort of way. There was one third entry in the classic category, and it was me. So I'm afraid the next video is in fact me. You're going to have to put up with it. This is the chorus speech from the beginning of Act 4 of Henry V. Take it away, me. Now, entertain conjecture of a time when creeping murmur and the pouring dark fills the wide vessel of the universe. From camp to camp, through the foul womb of night, the hum of either army stilly sounds, that the fixed sentinels almost receive the secret whispers of each other's watch. Fire answers fire, and through their paly flames each battle sees the other's umbered face. Steed threatens steed in high and boastful neighs, piercing the night's dull ear. And from the tents, the armourers accomplishing the nights, with busy hammers closing rivets up, give dreadful note of preparation. The country cocks do crow, the clocks do toll, and the third hour of drowsy morning name. Proud of their numbers and secure in soul, the confident and overlusty French do the low-rated English play at dice, and chide the crippled, tardy-gated knight, who like a foul and ugly witch doth limp so tediously away. The poor condemned English, like sacrifices, by their watchful fires sit and inly ruminate the morning's danger, and their gesture sad, investing lank lean cheeks and war-worn coats, presenteth them up to the gazing moon, so many horrid ghosts. Okay, so we're moving away from classical now and looking at something very, very different. So we have all had awkward conversations with our parents on the telephone, or more recently over Zoom or FaceTime or via video conferencing, but possibly none as awkward as this one. This is Kristen Mason.
So, Mum, as you're not picking up, I'm just going to record this in video for you. Anyway, what happened was this. Everyone's freaked out by the zombies, and we've all been cooped up anyway because of all the COVID and everything. And then the zombies came, and it all got worse, and you know where I'm this anyway. So I was just trying to be funny when I said I was going to eat Matilda's brains. Like, I don't want to eat Matilda's brains. I'm not going to eat Matilda's brains. I just wanted to pretend I was one of the zombies, but there's obviously no zombies here. And now, Matilda, stop crying. I'm trying to do this. Anyway, the thing is, Mum, lots of non-zombies eat brains. And we had some takeaway from Taco Bell in Southampton, you know, and I ordered tacos de cabeza, and I didn't know that cabeza means brains. So I had it, but it was probably not human, like maybe cow or something. I just want to put that out there. So anyway, you'd be surprised to know how good they were. Most amazing tacos ever. So I've already eaten brains before the zombies came. So anyway, everyone's like scared of me now, but you should know that the second thing you messaged me about, the cut on my arm, like, it's obviously not a zombie bite. It must have been maybe from smudge from like a while ago, you know, the cat. I can show you, look. So if I put, Matilda, like, stop, I just put my own arm in my own mouth. So, Matilda's been going crazy anyway, and that brings me to the third thing that you got so angry about. Like, I can't explain why it looked like I was actually taking a bite from her head. I wasn't. She was going crazy, you know, homeschooling, all of that, crying like she is now. So everyone's trying to sleep. She was getting more and more upset. And then I just wanted to hug her, calm her down from behind, put a kiss on the back of her head, and she threw her head back. And then that's what happened. I promise, Mum.
Kristen Mason there, and Kristen is also available for babysitting duties if anyone is interested. Now we come to Darcy Wells, and all we can say about Darcy is she really, really, really wants a puppy.
Mummy, this is not a puppy. Mummy, please can I have a puppy? Mummy, I got you these flowers. Please, can I have a puppy? Mummy, please, can I have a puppy? I want a puppy! Mummy! Give me a puppy! Mummy, I feel like now is the right time for you to get a puppy. Because I promise that I will take it on walks every day. I'll play with it. I'll feed it, I'll put it into bed. I'll even wake up early in the morning and I'll even pick up his poo. Just please, 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 can we get a puppy? Mummy, I'm making dinner. Please, can I have a puppy? If only I had a puppy.
To take away my only dream. I cry each night, my tears for you. My tears are all in vain. I hope and I pray that maybe someday you'll be back.
Mummy, can I have an iPhone 12?
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
Well, the party was nice, the party was pumping.
Hey, yeah.
That was Darcy Wells, who finally got the dog of her dreams. And that video won the Most Original Performance Award in the Monologue competition as awarded last week. So well done, Darcy, and to Alison, who helped with the music and the editing of the video. Now, we haven't heard from Paul Cresser for at least 5 minutes, and that is going to be a problem because this evening he submitted 5 separate videos for our entertainment. So let's rectify that. Here he is with his take on a Victoria Wood sketch, and this is Giving Notes.
Right, bit of hush, please. Connie. Thank you. Now, that was quite a good rehearsal. I was quite pleased. There were a few raised eyebrows when we let it slip that the pie crust players were having a bash at Shakespeare, but I think we're getting there. But I can't say this too often. It may be Hamlet, but it's got to be fun, fun, fun. Now, we're still very loose on lines. Where's Gertrude? I'm not so worried about you. If you're dry, just give us a bit of business with the shower cap. But Barbara, you will have to buckle down. I mean, Ophelia's mad scene. That lovely line. There's Rosemary. That's for remembrance. There's no good just bunging a few herbs about and saying, don't mind me, I'm a loony. Yes, you see, this is our marvellous bard, Barbara. You cannot paraphrase. It's not like Pinter, we can more or less say what you like as long as you leave enough gaps. Oh, Hamlet, drop the Geordie, David, it's not coming over. I mean, your characterisation's reasonably good, David, but it's just far too gloomy. Fair enough, make him a bit depressed at the beginning, but then start to lighten it. From scene 2. From the hokey cokey onwards, I'd say. Oh, and they get thee to a nunnery with Ophelia. Perhaps just give the audience a little wink, because he's really just having her on, isn't he? We decided. Oh, Polonius, try to show the age of the man in your voice and in your bearing, rather than waving the bus pass. I think you'll find it easier when we get the walking frame. How's that coming along, Connie? All right. Now, the mad scene. Apart from the lines, much better, Barbara. I can see you're getting used to the straitjacket. Oh, any news on that skull, Connie? Yes, well, I'm just thinking if your little dog pulls through, we shall have to fall back on papier-mâché. All right, Connie, as long as it's dead by the dress. That's about it. Oh, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. You're not on long. Make your mark. I don't think it's too gimmicky. The tandem. Oh, and a most important general note. Makeup! Half of you looked as if you haven't got any on. And Claudius, no moles again. Oh, I bet Margaret Lockwood never left hers in the glove compartment. Well, that's it for tonight then. I shall expect you all to be word perfect for next rehearsal. Have any of you realised what date we're up to? Yes, April 27th. And when do we open? August. It's not long.
Paul Cresser there, and any similarity between that and any of the SUP directors that you may have worked with in the last year or two are entirely coincidental. Now we're going to turn to Frances Heather and her role as Lady Rough Diamond from Curry On Up the Khyber.
Good evening. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Lady Joan Rough Diamond, and I happen to have the privilege of being married to Sir Sidney Rough Diamond, who here is in charge of the First Foot and Mouth Regiment here in Mahabalipuram. And I must say, we're most delighted that you were able to join us for this weekend for our special soiree. I'm so glad you've been able to come, and I do hope that you have had not too much of an inconvenient journey. We do know it's very difficult here. I must say, I do actually can't stand India. I can't stand the heat. Oh, it's so excessively hot all the time. It's just so unpleasant. And one just yearns for the gardens of England all the time. But there we are. We have to do what we have to do, don't we? I must say that I just cannot understand the obsession with having to spice everything. I just don't understand what that's about. I can't stand the food. Everything is spiced. Now, my husband, on the other hand, absolutely loves spiced food. I think they call it curry or something. Some such thing, anyway, I don't understand. And he absolutely loves it. He can't get enough of it, actually. The curry, that is.
Frances Heather there. And to finish off this sequence of more light-hearted videos before we're getting into something more serious again, well, it's me again. Sorry about that. This time, here I am playing the Easter Bunny in something called The Easter Bunny. Hello, Easter Bunny. Christmas, me old mate. Hey, you're up early. You don't wake up till at least the end of April usually. What's up? Okay. Any reason why you haven't gone to bed yet? So? Mate, just because some people still have their decorations up doesn't mean you have to stay awake. No, they're not still celebrating the true spirit of Christmas. They're celebrating the true spirit of it's a global pandemic and I can't be asked. Yes, I'm sure. Well, if you want to, yeah. Well, no. Just because the humans keep their cards up and those stupid bloody twinkly trees up until my chocolate season doesn't mean that I want you involved. You are not shitting on my Easter parade. I have told you before, March is mine. I thought it was the 4th of April this year. Yeah, very clever. 4th of April and the 2nd of May. But March is still the main. 4th of April and 2nd of May. You're not the only one with an orthodox version, you know. I am not shitting you. Google it if you don't believe me. Well, now you do. Listen, mate, it wasn't your fault, but 2020 was really quiet. 2021 December's going to be really big. You need to be on the top of your game, for which you need to get some rest. Look, go to bed, set your alarm for June. When you wake up, give me a call. We'll go for a curry. All right, mate. All right. Good night. Bye. That was Easter Bunny, and pleased to say it won Best Comedy Performance last week, so yay. Now, something a little bit different and a lot more serious. And here is Sophia Cameron playing Miss Havisham from Great Expectations.
Is it real? Her. Thank you. Thank you. I want to show you that I'm not all stone. Do you hate me? What have I done? What have I done? She's married. Married. What have I done? Babe, my dear, believe me, when she first came to me, I meant to save her. Save her from misfortunes like my own. No more. But then she grew. She grew so beautiful. And so. I stole her heart away from you.
Sophia Cameron there as Miss Havisham. Next up, we have the second video this evening from Stephen Fennerty, and this is called Terrible Precipice.
People like you and me, we rather love precipices. We go towards them and withdraw now and again, and sometimes we go over the edge. There was a second or two, I think, perhaps a year ago, when I didn't much fancy staying alive. I didn't contemplate suicide. No, I wouldn't kill myself, not in the ordinary sense of the word. I wouldn't take pills or drugs or anything really in that sense. But I did suddenly wake up one morning and found how splendidly rich and extraordinary the world was, and that I couldn't bear its richness and its beauty. And in order to obviate the idea of the richness and the extraordinary beauty of the world, I thought it best that I should leave it. You can kill yourself any second, of course, not by any obvious means, but you can, of course, drink yourself to death. It's rather pleasant. I had a go. The doctor in California said if I'd kept on as I was going, then I only had 2 weeks to live. Now, this was fascinating because when you examine the idea of 2 weeks, every second, every minute, every hour, every day, I was absolutely fascinated. I wasn't frightened at all. So I thought, here we go again, boys. We're on the edge of a terrible precipice. A fascinating idea, of course, the idea of drink on that scale. I've been there. I've seen that dark wood. I know how terrible it is, how frightful, how frightening it is. But I went there, and I came back. There's always a future in some shape or form, but sometimes the view, the road ahead, is obscured from us. We can't see our way. We get lost.
Cheers, Stephen. Mine's a Lefroy. Okay, so it's time for Mr. Cresser again. Yes, Paul is up for a third time. This time he's giving us a little extract from the Russell T Davies programme It's a Sin, and here he is playing Richie Tozer.
It's not fair. Every time we go out, it's this shit. The whole thing is a pack of lies. Oh, he said, she said, they said. They're always saying something. But do you want to know the truth? Do you want to know what it really is? AIDS? It's a racket. It's a money-making scheme for drugs companies. Do you seriously think there's an illness that only kills gay men? That can calculate that you're gay and kill you, but no one else? What about bisexuals? Do they only get sick every other day? And they say it's a cancer. But you can't catch cancer. Cancer is not a thing that can get caught. It's not like a cold or a cough. It's cancer. It doesn't transmit. Can you imagine it? Gay cancer. How is a cancer gay? I mean, what's it look like? Is it pink? Where is it? Is it in the wrist? I mean, for God's sake. Yeah, all these stories and all these rumours and all these nightmares, because that's what they want you to think. That lot. They want to scare us and stop us having sex and make us really boring, basically because they can't get laid. That's the truth. Because, according to them, how does it work, this AIDS thing? Okay, they say it's spread by poppers, or say that it arrived from outer space on a comet, and say that God created it to strike us down. They say it was created in a laboratory to kill us. They say it's the Russians. They say we caught it from the jungle. They say it's caused by friction. They say it's in the spunk. They say Freddie Laker spread it when he introduced cheap flights. They say there's one patient zero spreading it wherever he goes. They say it affects homosexuals, Haitians and haemophiliacs. Like there's a disease that's targeted the letter H. Well, who's going to get it next? People from Hartlepool and Hampshire and Hull? Don't you see what all these things have got in common? They're not true. Now, how do I know? How do I know they're not true? Because I'm not stupid. Which means I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe a word of it. Now hit me with those lasers, please!
Thanks, Paul. And now we're moving on to Andrew Clark with a piece called Life. And this is a piece he scripted himself and won the award last week at the Monologue competition for the best original script. So here he is, Andrew Clark, Life.
Choose life. That's all I ever fucking hear. You choose it, live it, love it, breathe it, and die living it. But what the fuck would I want to do a thing like that? See, choosing life means working 9 to 5, 7 days a week in a job you don't exactly want to be in. But you started it now, so you're stuck there. Because you didn't have the balls to do what you want to do. Because you're too afraid about casted by society. Choosing life means choosing money. The root of all evil. From the richest of the rich to the shallow cesspit of the poor. You both do any means of getting it, but only the poor really lose respect for themselves. Choosing life means choosing fashion, from high class suit to tracksuit. That's how you chuck the lad and lass nowadays. You gotta dress to impress. Personality means fuck all anymore. Choosing life means choosing social media, scrolling through hours and hours of shit posting while you share every little thing about your life to get the attention you crave and need. Choosing life means choosing dating sites from Tinder, Grindr, whatever, swiping left and right for that perfect love. When reality, it's just a quick fucking chuck. Choosing life means choosing fitness, makeup. You gotta look good, you gotta feel good. You can't be happy in your own skin anymore. Body positivity not a thing. You gotta be like every other fucker. You know, the beautiful people. Choosing life means choosing adulting, organisation, in bed by 10, up by 6, living the same old boring life the day you die. But me, I chose a different sort of life. Life full of sex, drugs, drink. You name it, I've done it. A life full of freedom and bliss. A life with no rules and no emotions. Now that is a life worth living. But I bet you're wondering, why am I telling you all this? Well, I have to ask one question, and one simple question, which of course is, which would you choose?
Andrew Clark there, who clearly has a great future ahead of him as a therapist. Moving on, we're coming to another self-penned piece. This piece is called Cracked Porcelain, and the actor is Sophie Diane.
Right. Okay. Let's do this. Sometimes I really hate being an actress. Right, I've only got 10 minutes until curtain call and I need to get this right. Okay. Pearls fall like a constraint around my neck. I can't breathe. I want this porcelain noose to come off. I want to find myself free from my marriage and free from what society and what my mother has made of me. I'm not, and never truly will be, a debutante. I'm not what this caviar indulgent world has made me. I will not marry someone who has been chosen for me. I will not live in a millionaire's dream house made for a life of being only a wife, mother and socialite. When I have children, I will not only appear to be a parent, I will not relinquish any responsibility over my offspring to an au pair, only being visible through a champagne flute. I will not live only to exist to people who deem reputation and money more valuable than joy or happiness. Or others. I am not a clothes horse or a trophy wife to be shown off at weekend hours by a much older husband. A man who enjoyed his time at prep school with my father. I will not give up my life to be subjugated. I want to travel. I want to experience different cultures and foods. I want to actually understand what it's like not having a penny to my name or know where the next meal is coming from. I want to struggle. I want to live in a less than perfect apartment without maids, butlers, or cleaners. I want to wear ripped jeans, Birkenstocks, and a cosy cardigan. But above all, I want my independence. I don't want my future laid out for me, and I definitely don't want to be controlled. Life is for the living and not to be spent in a sheltered, money-filled bubble. Or in Hollywood, apparently. I will leave this overbearing upper-class world, for this silver spoon has left a toxic taste in my mouth. That will definitely have to do, because otherwise I just not going to be able to get on stage. Right. Let's do this.
Sophie Diane there with Cracked Porcelain. Next up is Alison Wells. Alison won the award for Tragedy or Straight Performance in the competition last week with this extract from Alan Bennett's A Lady of Letters. Take it away, Alison.
I ought to be writing up my diary. Mrs. Proctor's got us all keeping diaries as part of literary appreciation. The other girls can't think what to put in theirs. Me, I can't think what to leave out. Trouble is, not enough time to write it up. I'm 3 days behind as it is. I am that busy. In the mornings, we have occupation, and I've opted for bookbinding and dressmaking. In dressmaking, Mrs. Dunlop's chucked me right in at the deep end, and I'm running up a little cocktail dress. I said I never have cocktails. She said, well, now you've got a dress, you can. That's what this place is all geared up for. New horizons. It's in Shantung with a little shawl collar. Lucille's making me a chunky necklace for it in handicrafts. I'm sharing a room with someone called Bridget. She's from Glasgow. She was a prostitute on and off, and she did away with her kiddie accidentally when she was drunk and upset. But such a bonny face, you'd never think it. Her mother was blind, but she made beautiful pastry, and she raised a family of 9 in 3 rooms. You don't know you're born, I think. I'm friends with practically everyone besides Bridget. I am up and down that corridor. Sometimes I'm still doing me rounds when the bell goes. They laugh at me. I know they do, but it's all in good part. Lucille says to me, "You're so funny, you, Irene. You don't seem to mind being in prison." I said, "Prison?" I said, "Lucille, this is the first taste of freedom I've had in years." Oh, I'm the lucky one, though, because they all miss men. Men, men, men. That's all they talk about. Talk about nothing else. Mind you, that's not quite the closed book it used to be. Bridget has taken me through the procedure step by step. And previous, if I'd ever found myself in bed with a man, then I'd have been like a fish out of water. But now, as Bridget says, at least I know the rudiments. I can't see me ever needing that, not at my age, but, you know, it's another string to your bow.
That was Alison Wells, and the next video is by Dickie Fear, and this one actually won the Technical Excellence Award last week at the Monologue competition. And here he is with Essential.
You are essential. But what does that mean? Like a gear in the machine, irreplaceable because the work could falter? No. Bring a new gear, it continues, unaltered. Unaltered and changing and repenting and feeling. That's a lie. You could try at least. Hard to work up the energy required when you're simply tired of feeling tired. What does it mean to be rewarded in a dream? A series of applause until the mechanics get bored, then back to square one. When did you last have fun? Before or during, or has it all been the same, regardless of happenstance or the time frame? Your palettes have become muted. You wake up to shades of greys hiding shades of graves, out and about and polluted. Then is it any surprise that you lose your damn mind because to be a hero means risking that you'll die? What is essential? The essential heart pumping blood to the lungs and brain, not just one buddy, but a chance to be somebody, essentially, eventually, potentially, the choice to wake up alive yet again, inconsequentially. So what does it mean to be essential? I think I've got it. Cut off, yet cut out. Just for a moment we phased away. But what am I trying to convey? We all are, in the end, to those close family and friends, essential. I know I'm essential to someone, somewhere, because that's the way it will always be. I know I'm essential to you, just as...
Sup, bro? Just seeing how you doing.
You're essential to me.
Dickie Fear there with Essential, and a great winner of the Technical Excellence Award. And now we come to Paul Cresser's fourth entry in this evening's entertainment. This is called The Candle. It's actually Dellen's monologue from the Babylon 5 episode, And All My Dreams Torn Asunder. And yes, I'm having to read that from the side. Here he is, Paul Cresser.
The candle represents life. All life. Every life. We are all born as molecules in the hearts of a billion stars. Molecules that do not understand politics or policies or differences. Over 1 billion years, we foolish molecules forget who we are and where we came from. In desperate acts of ego, we give ourselves names, fight over lines on maps, and pretend that our light is better than everyone else's. The flame reminds us of the piece of those stars that lives on inside us. The spark that tells us you should know better. The flame also reminds us that life is precious, as each flame is unique. When it goes out, it's gone forever, and there will never be another quite like it. So many candles will go out tonight. I wonder sometimes if we could see anything at all.
Well, Mr. Cresser is on fire tonight. Our next video is from Adam Tausick, and here he is with Lewis Carroll's Jabberwocky.
'Twas brillig, and the slithy toes did gyre and gimble in the wabe, or mimsy were the borogroves, and the mome raths outgrabe. Beware the Jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the Jubjub bird, and shun the frumious Bandersnatch. He took his vorpal sword in hand, long time the manxome foe he sought. Then rested he by the Tumtum tree, and stood a while in thought. And as in uffish thought he stood, the Jabberwock, with eyes of flame, came whiffling through the tulgey wood, and burbled as it came. 1, 2, 1, 2, and through, the vorpal sword went snicker-snack. He left it dead, and with its head he went galumphing back. And hast thou slain the Jabberwock? Come to my arms, my beamish boy, O frabjous day Callooh Callay. He chortled in his joy. 'Twas brillig, and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wabe, all mimsy with the borogroves, and the mome raths outgrabe.
Adam Tausick there, looking particularly frumious, if I may say so. Next up is Michaela Zadra. He's playing Ralphie in a short extract from Grace Period by Joseph Arnone. Mick, it's all yours.
Will you stop shouting? I think you're getting out of control, my friend. You're not thinking things too effectively. And you gotta be effective. And right now, you sound like a panicked lunatic, waving your arms around in the street with a red towel. Breathe. Just breathe, alright? Well, numb your nuts there, numbnuts. I'll get my check, believe me. I'll get my check. And if I have to go incognito and locate the bastards, I will. And believe me, I'll get my check. Boom, paid. Good for the rest of the year. Ain't nobody gonna take my money. And listen, if you're down and out, I got you. I'll look you up, bro. But you gotta chill. You're always too hot and bothered. Learn to be more calm when under pressure. I was built for this kind of thing. Look at me. Relaxed, calm, thoughtful. You're out of control. You're letting the age taking you. And I'm saying, no. No! And if our landlords want to throw us out, well, let them throw us out and watch what I do with this hotbox anyway. I'll blow their thing up. I got a buddy, Frank. He got grenades, right? He'll give me one of them and off we go. Bada boom! Goodbye! Adios! Sayonara! We are out! And we'll go to your mother's place until we find another one. That's all.
Thank you, Michaela. Our next video is Lara Taylor. She's playing the character Jean in an extract from August, Osage County by Tracy Letts. This video won the Contemporary category in the awards last week. Lara, it's all yours.
Go on, Mum and Dad won't say anything. You're not going to get in trouble. Pity. They said they won't mind. I mean, they just think I smoke weed is all. I mean, Dad doesn't. Mum does. She thinks it's really bad for me. But I think the real reason why it bugs her is because Dad does it too, and she wishes he didn't. He's much cooler than Mum. I mean, not much cooler, but he's cooler in that way, I guess. Actually, no. He's not cooler. He's fucking one of his students, which is pretty uncool if you ask me. I mean, some people think it's cool, like those pricks he works with at the humanities department who are just fucking all of their students, or wish they were fucking their students. I mean, I don't care. You know, he can fuck whoever he wants. Because that's what teachers do, isn't it? Meet students. I think he was just a bit of a turd in the way he went about things. Like, he didn't even give Mum a chance to respond or anything. And what sucks now is that Mum's watching me like a hawk. You know, she thinks I'm gonna have some sort of post-divorce freak out. You know, like shoot up the school or shoot up some heroin. Or, God forbid, lose my virginity. I mean, I don't know what it is about Dad splitting that's putting her on hymen patrol all of a sudden.
Laura Taylor as Jean from August, Osage County. And now, capturing the COVID lockdown mood perfectly, we have Jonathan Shepherd with a monologue based on Alan Ayckbourn's How the Other Half Loves. Here's Johnny.
Here we are. Refreshments. Now Frank won't be long. He's just out in the garden shed, tinkering with his tools or something. Anyway, can I just say how nice it is to finally have you over for dinner. And what have you been up to? Anything interesting? No? Oh, well, it's been pretty dull all round for everyone, hasn't it? I mean, I often think these things go in phases, don't they? You have an exciting bit of the year and then all of a sudden you have a dull bit of the year. I don't know why that should be at all. Do you? But, well, maybe it's just me. But I think that it's to do with the time of year. In summer, you can always get out, can't you? But when you come to winter, on a day like today, you can't do anything really. You're just stuck indoors all day, wishing you could get out. And you can't. You just have to sit indoors all day, waiting for the dreary old weather to become brighter again. Oh, I do apologise. Miles away there. I must go and drag Frank back in from the garden. It would be a shame for him to miss all the fun, wouldn't it? Here you go. Help yourselves to the wine. I won't be long. Here comes the sun.
Thank you, Jonathan. Now, we're nearly at the end of the evening, but I know what you're thinking. Surely we've not heard all there is from Paul Cresser, and you'd be right. So here is his final video and a good way to finish off our entertainment. This is A New Day. He's speaking the words of Samwise Gamgee from Lord of the Rings. Paul, take us out.
I know. It's all wrong. By rights, we shouldn't even be here. But we are. It's like in the great stories. The ones that really mattered. Full of darkness and danger they were. And sometimes you didn't want to know the end. Because how could the end be happy? How could the world go back to the way it was when so much bad had happened? But in the end, it's only a passing thing, this shadow. Even darkness must pass. A new day will come. And when the sun shines, it will shine out the clearer. Those were the stories that stayed with you. It really meant something, even if you were too small to understand why. And I think I do understand. I know now. Folks in those stories, they had lots of chances of turning back, only they didn't. They kept going because they were holding on to something. That there is some good in this world, and it is worth fighting for.
So that's the last video in our monologue evening, and thank you so much to everybody who filmed and submitted something. It was a fantastic set of things to watch and enjoy. For those of you watching live, we're going to move over now to a chat on Zoom, and I hope to see you all there. Bye.